This is the Criterion Creeps podcast, and tonight we're talking about the first half of the 60s Swordplay Collection.
The what?
Yeah. It's a good title for a box set, right?
The 60s Swordplay Collection? Is that kind of like the 60 Coldplay hits collection? You're a big Coldplay guy, right?
Yeah, I heard all about that.
Yeah, I know you. I know you're a big Coldplay guy. Nice.
The biggest Rebel Samurai 60s Swordplay Classics.
Sure.
There we go.
There you go. Coldplay.
4 movies, but this week we're only talking about the first 2.
Okay, so before we get into it, is there a rationale of why these movies fit together in a pairing other than them being samurai films, or is there some connection that I don't know about?
It's probably the studio.
Oh, okay.
60s, that, I don't know, that cultural shifts in the 60s and approaching the samurai genre from being kind of like, you just love your emperor. This is about like, hey, sometimes power corrupts, you know?
Does absolute power corrupt absolutely? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cha.
Okay, I was curious because I was like, I don't really know why these like these 2 movies we watched today, at least I was like, I don't really know what the theme is here other than samurai.
But it's about bad lords and men who have to use violence to achieve their goals.
Did you say cuck lords?
I said cuck beast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a few of those.
So in order, let's talk about Samurai Rebellion. From 1967, directed by Masaki Kobayashi. A synopsis for y'all.
Where's it from?
Toshiro Mifune stars as Isaburo Sasahara, an aging swordsman living a quiet life until his clan lord orders that his son marry the lord's mistress, who has recently displeased the ruler. Reluctantly, father and son take in the woman, and to the family's surprise, the couple fall in love. But the lord soon reverses his decision and demands the mistress's return. Against all expectations, Isaburo and his son refuse, risking the destruction of their entire family. Director Masaki Kobayashi's Samurai Rebellion is the gripping story of a peaceful man who finally decides to take a stand against injustice. Like Liam Neeson.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
So, this is a first-time view for me.
Really?
Yeah. This is probably the highest-rated samurai movie I had not seen yet. And so it's always been on there. It's got that Mifune guy. Sans
Toshi?
Sans Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah. Tosh?
Tosh?
I like Tosh.
Okay.
Yeah, who doesn't like Tosh?
And so I've been putting this one off, and of course for the last 5 years, knowing that inevitably I'd be watching it anyway. So I was like, hey, this must be the opportune time.
Sure.
The moment to strike with the edge of the blade.
With what? You have to speak up. I'm not wearing pants.
So these are all both going to be period pieces. They're samurai movies. I don't know.
Well, what about Neo Samurai?
Good question. You mean like Jean-Pierre Melville style?
I'm not talking about Les Samurai.
There's a lot of samurais in the last 11 movies.
There has been a lot of samurais in the last 11 movies.
301 and up, there's a lot of samurai action. Last week, it was like half a samurai.
Which half, though?
It was like the fake kind. The guy pretending to be a samurai and taking credit for it. I mean,
the incel?
No.
Oh, which one are we talking about?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Les Samurai.
And then there's Les Samurai, which is like who's also a fake samurai.
Yeah.
And then you have Harikiri, which is kind of also about a fake samurai. And then there's a real samurai, and he beats ass.
Was that Tosh?
No.
Damn. What if it was, though?
Non-Tosh.
Could you imagine?
So, how to talk about this movie.
Yes.
So this movie opens up. We have two buddies, two old friends whose names, whose character. So there's Isaburo Sasahara. That's Toshiro Mifune's character, and then there is his friend who is it Asano. I'm going off of these names here.
You know better than
it is. Okay, it is. It is.
Names of things are.
Tadawaki Asano, played by Tatsuya Nakadai. That is his good, close personal friend who they both know they're the best, and they do not want to have a duel to decide who's really the best of the two, because they don't want to like bring any dishonor or like shame onto the other one's family. So they're just like, leave well enough alone, and we'll be good, close personal friends.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yep. So we get a retirement as
a retirement party.
Yeah, Japanese style.
Oh, was there cake?
No.
What do you think the retirement party, like, or the retirement gift for a samurai is? You know, like sometimes when someone like retires from a factory, they get like a watch or something.
Yeah.
What would the retirement gift for a samurai be?
Like an all gold sword.
You know what I think would be? A ribbon.
A ribbon. Yeah, they'd probably be really into ribbons.
Yeah, I feel like a ribbon would really work. Like it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. I just think a nice fancy ribbon would be what it would be.
What color would you like this ribbon to be in?
I mean, I think it really depends on the guy or the gal, but I think a baby blue, like a powder blue ribbon. You know about powder blue?
I've heard about it.
Yeah. Well, that's just my idea. Yeah. What were you talking about?
Samurai Rebellion. And then there's a time jump.
Mm-hmm.
And Sasahara's son is all grown up, and the family's like, he's got to get married to somebody. This is a common thing that is in these harikiri and stuff like that. It's like these friends, colleagues, and they're like they're not necessarily well-to-do. That might be overstating it, but they're comfortable.
They're comfortable.
Yeah. And well, word comes down. The lord of the land. He's
which lord?
The landlord.
The landlord?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Being landlord's not a job, RJ. So Twitter tells me.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but apparently they collect money from other people's misfortune, is what I've heard.
That's right. Well,
allegedly.
It was much like this back in 1725. And the landlord, well, he's very displeased with his new wife that he wanted to have a baby with as a backup baby, just in case his son died. Then it's like, well, at least we got another son to carry on the line. So this lady, backup baby, this lady, we're gonna bring her in. She's a fetching lass, and
wow,
they're going to get to it. They're going to have that baby, and soon enough, that happens. But the landlord, he's got his eyes already on another side piece, mistress, and man, oh man, this woman, she does not like this very much, and she beats the shit in montage out of this woman, out of, I don't know, frustration, jealousy, a little bit of everything. And the Lord, of course, the Lord's like, whoa, I don't like this. I don't like this sort of tension. I don't like this aggression. And he just had almost nothing to do with her. And she just lights him up with slaps, calling him out. And he does not like that at all. And he's like, I can't handle this. This woman's crazy.
Is she potentially hysterical?
Well,
is that what?
That's what some men would say. Some, RJ. Not me. Not I.
Oh, I definitely have never used such words to describe a person, male or female or anything else. I'm just saying, some people used to say things like that.
Some people, RJ. So, he needs to get rid of this broad. And so his deal is like, well, I'm going to send her off to one of my minions. and then I'll marry him off to their son, and they can take care of her. Get her away from me. We find all this out in a flashback when she tells her side of the story. I'm just telling it now because like there's a lot of hesitation. Isaburo's wife, she's just like, no one's good enough for her son or for the family. She wants to be very strategic. There's actually two brothers. There's the good brother, and then there's the one who's like, yeah, they're going to ruin the reputation of the house. It's like, he's just a schemer. He has no real personality other than he's just like, yes, mother. But
he reminds me of an RC guy.
Whatever that means.
You know what it means.
Okay.
You know what it means.
So it turns out though, through thick and thin, the son and this concubine being forced onto this family, they hit it off, and they fall in love. RJ, they build up a connection. And everyone starts kind of the father and his son and his son's wife. They all like one another. Who cares about his wife and the other son? They're just like miserableists. There's a baby, and 3 months after that baby's born, the Lord's changed his mind, and he's like, "Hey, I want her back. Send her back.
Yeah,
send her back. Why haven't you sent her back yet?" And everyone's like, "It's all the methods of like negotiations and like sniveling in betweeners and the guys who actually wield this power, but they have to make this happen." And they're like, they know it's a shit deal. This is like pretty stupid, but that's not their point. It's not their job to question their lord. It's to get what the Lord wants and don't ask questions. So the absurdity of it all though is like infuriating. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't want this girl, and we did it out of honor and duty to the Lord, and it worked out pretty good for us. We're pretty happy the way things are, and now you've changed your fucking mind again, bud. And I don't respect that. I don't respect this, and no one wants this deal. So they tell them to go fuck themselves, politely. They're like, no. You don't see how this is. Like, no, this isn't a choice. You're going to do this. And if you don't, you're going to have to commit seppuku. Like, and then that'll be that.
And they're pretty good. They're like, yeah, no problem, we'll do it. But
it's escalating, right? There's a lot of mind games and anger happening as people are not like, weren't you just going along with it? The Lord asked. It's like, well, it's not that simple. But for some people, bad dudes. They're like,
bad dudes?
They're like, you just follow and obey orders. That's just the way life is. Well, these guys are like, no. It's like, hey, if you do this, it's not going to fly, and we're going to tell people that you're forcing this situation. We're going to put the word out of what you're trying to do. And they're like, well, you don't want that. You don't want to be doing that. So there's a lot of like, oh, yeah, you want to go? You want to go? A lot of circling around the situation. And so finally, the son seems to be like, everyone's kind of willing to cave at various points because it's a very stressful situation, and everyone's struggling against this sense of duty versus what they want, finding that right balance. Eventually, though, an arrangement is made. It's like, okay, we're going to bring her down. We're going to pay you a visit. We're going to carry her in her little carry box. We're going to have a detachment of a dozen or so samurai guys, because we know that there might be some trouble, and nobody wants to fuck with Mifune.
Well, would you mess with Tosh?
Clearly not. Clearly not a good idea.
I can't mess with Tosh.
So they make a wonderful offer saying, hey, how about instead of you guys having to kill yourselves, we're just going to sentence you to living outside of the castle, out on a shrine, with a horse, out on a mountain, not bothering anybody.
I was wondering if you were going to hit that. Timely. Timely.
Well,
Don Rickles fans unite.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyways. That is the agreement, right?
Yeah,
Do you think that's where Rickles got it?
And he's like, oh, yeah, no, it's, Yeah, so they're like, no, we're not doing that. But it's like, well, no, it's got to be her decision. How about that? We're going to kill these guys unless you agree to this whole thing. And instead of making a choice, instead she throws herself onto the spear of one of those guards that have drawn down on her, and she takes herself out of the equation. And of course, this sets off a series of violent encounters. The son, he gets got. It's kind of like shocking. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
That's like, damn, that guy's, he didn't even like draw a sword or anything. He's done. He keeps getting stabbed. But then Mifune gets down to business and just blasts his way through these guys with a sword.
As opposed to what else would he be doing it with?
Effortlessly cutting through people, and you're like, okay, so he's the best.
Yes, he's the best. He's the best there is at what he does. He's like Logan. And
then he gets down to tearing up that nice rock garden of his to bury all these dead bodies. And he one-mans this thing. Oh, and he's got a baby now he's got to like take care of.
Yeah, it's Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy?
Yeah, well, he's like, number one granddad.
He is. He's a very nice granddaddy.
He's number one granddad.
And he gets to bury his son and daughter-in-law. And he's like, well, fuck. I'm gonna go fuck up the Lord, I guess. Sorry. That's his specific plan. Is he's going to go to Edo to like file a formal complaint, I guess, about this.
Edo, the restaurant.
Yeah. They didn't take his order, RJ.
What do you get at Edo if you go?
I don't. Edo.
You don't eat at Edo?
Nah.
I like Edo.
If I were, I'd be about those tuna rolls. Some tekkemaki.
Tekkemaki? No, you gotta get like the meal at Edo. I'm a big fan of just like the rice and teriyaki things. But there's a lot of people I know teriyaki things. But a lot of people I know call it Edos with an S. It's like, you want to go down to the Edos later? And I go, yeah, I do want to go down to the Edos.
Well, I'll mention that to the franchise owner here in town, Mike.
That it's Mike. Yeah. Tell him, hey, you ever been to Edos?
Mm-hmm.
I think and sometimes it's Eat-O's. What were you talking about?
This movie called Samurai Rebellion. So,
that's not Edo.
Before they sent these guys, they actually went and talked to Asano, his old best friend, saying, "Hey, you're on gate duty. You're the master of the gate, but we're going to need you to take care of this guy." He's like, "Oh no, that's not against the regular." He basically uses the rules against these guys to say, "No, I'm not. I know what you want me to do, because you all know that I'm the only person that could probably kill this guy, and you're all afraid of him, and you want to use me? No, I'm the gate guy. That's my job." And you're not going to make me do anything beyond that. So fuck off. Well, they're dead. And so now Isaburo, he's kind of on the run. He's got to try to get across the border. Apparently, the only way you can cross land is by a road through a gate, which of course brings him face to face with his friend. And now there's conflict, and it draws upon them having to have a battle to finally decide who's the best. And it's pretty
who
sweet.
is the best?
It's pretty sweet. It's very quick, but very big dramatic little sword fight. We get some drawn blood across the forehead, and then you get a kill that comes out of nowhere. And you're just like, whoa, that's it. That's just the way it is in a Lone Wolf and Cub. Short and sweet.
Well, one strike kill, man.
Yep.
Where did you learn to samurai?
Nice and neat.
I learned it at Edo's.
But then we find out the sword is not stronger than muskets. But we do get a prime example of Japanese strong style of a man no-selling bullet wounds as he walks triumphantly through them and is able to spit out one final long final word to his granddaughter.
Well, I mean, if you were dying, you'd want to tell her one last thing, no? He said, and if I say anything, Tome, it is going to be this.
That's awesome.
We were the family.
So that's the plot of this movie.
Sure it is.
And so I think this movie is pretty sweet. I think the last half hour of this movie is super good. I think it's like great samurai action. For people who love samurai movies, for all these goddamn samurai movies that we have to watching Criterion's, because there's this big old weeb up there, John Criterion. Because
Is he a confirmed weeb?
Oh, he's got a big top knot, RJ, and he's got his
samurai
like
bun,
he's got his like fabricated swords behind him in his little what he calls his office, his dojo.
Dojo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the dojo for a while, babe. What? I'm going to the dojo.
Taipei mats. Taipei, whatever they're called. And he has his tea, and he's very demanding. He wants to return to old ways. He's a big fan of
Great Reset?
of Mishima. Yes. Yeah. So that's the man who's responsible for this abundance of samurai action. But I think this is definitely one of the stronger entries. I mean, considering this movie is just a touch over 2 hours, I think this movie went by actually really, really fast.
Sure.
I was engaged the whole time. It's a very simple story. At the end of the day, it's pretty predictable in terms of beats. But then it's like Harikiri, but I think Harikiri is like pretty well perfect in terms of its setting out its goals. This is kind of like a slightly, I don't know what you'd call fartier version of Harikiri. I think that's accurate. But it is like really good, and I think for its reputation, it seems like a lot of people give this pretty high marks, and I will say I will concur on these. I think that both this and Harikiri are better samurai movies than Kurosawa movies.
Potentially.
I mean, that's just my view on this whole matter.
That's just like your thing, man.
Yeah, it's just my opinion, man. RJ, what do you think about this rebellion with samurais? Was there enough rebellion for you?
I mean, it's hard to say because some people want to know where the rebellion is. Is it rebellions without a cause? Are we talking about James Dean? Or is it like Star Wars, the Clone Rebellion? Do you know what I mean?
Which one is it more like? Somewhere in between, perhaps.
It's not really James Dean. I'd say it's more like a Bela Lugosi as a teenager. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't, but few people do. Few people do. So this was, probably, obviously, a first-time watch for myself. I didn't look into either of these movies. I just thought that they're samurai movies, and I went, okay. And so I threw this on, and then I saw a Mifune production, and I went, oh, baby.
You sat up.
I went, Tosh.
You tightened up your samurai Japanese style underwear.
Yeah, I was
hopped into the spa.
The underwear that go all the way down to the ankles, real vestment style, real form fitting, you know. But yeah, I saw my man Tosh, and I was like, ooh, like this. And then I saw the 2 hour and 1 minute run time, and I was like, oh.
Me too.
I went less good, but I will see this through. And I was watching this, and I went, hey, this is a romance movie. It's kind of nice. And I was watching a little more, and I was like, oh, shit, this is a complex romance movie. I really like when you get the backstory about how the guy was like, here's my new mistress, be friends with her. And then I love that the lady loses it, and the guy like really kind of quietly is like, ooh. He's like, I'm just gonna sneak out of here while you guys deal with this, and then he bails on it. I thought that was a really effective scene. I was like, I like this. It's funny.
Hilarious.
I thought it was funny. But then yeah, so like you explained it in detail, but the whole setup here of why they're doing what they're doing. Bottom line, end of the day, Toshiro Mifune is standing up for what he thinks is right. And can you ever go wrong with that? I don't think so. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet. So yeah, I think this is a slammer. This thing is
nice.
Good. Yeah, real good. It blows by. I think you mentioned as you were watching the second film, which we won't play that card too fast, but you were kind of like, weird that the longer movie didn't seem longer. And I was like, yes, I agree. Because this first movie is real good. I love the setup to it all. Like I do like this kind of long storytelling that sets who these people are, and they're like, we didn't want this. It was forced upon us, but this is us now. And it's like, and we actually like it. And it's like, and you can't take that away from us. So I thought that was awesome. Toshiro Mifune is just, he's the best. Like, I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to name another Japanese actor that I think is consistently good as Tosh is. He's just so cool. I love a lot of the dialogue in this movie, which is well done. You know, a lot of talks, which I had a ton of screenshots, but none of them worked, which is unfortunate. Like I got them all, and then I opened up my thing and it was all blacked out, and I went, oh, the disabled screenshots again. Okay. Which is too bad.
Probably but I always say, like, hey, do you try a different browser?
That's what I did do. So they've disabled it on Chrome, and then I went to the backup, which was the very underused Microsoft Edge.
Oh dear.
Which is what I've been taking screenshots on for the last 3 months. And I know people have like, why don't you use snipping tool? Doesn't work. They've blocked that. They've blocked everything, I think, basically at this point. I'll try Firefox next week, but I have tried.
You could always use your phone to take a picture of it off the screen.
That was blocked immediately from day one, because that's how I originally tried to do it.
No, but I mean, like, literally use your phone to take a picture of your screen. How would that be blocked?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that would be unideal, but
it would fit our brand. We're not ideal, but no, you could also meme that.
Yeah,
it's all for the memes.
If we do get sued, I just want to know that I'm doing it under coercion and it's not my free will.
No.
Okay. It's for the Patreons. But what was I talking about? Yeah, I really like the dialogue in this, which is really good. And the ending is pretty sweet. And I do think that I think your buddy Steven Spielbergo must be a fan of this, because the ending kind of sequence reminded me a lot of the raptors in Jurassic Park 2 in the tall grass, where people are popping up and then popping down, and guys are getting taken out by Tosh in the tall grass. I was like, this is just the raptor scene.
So one thing one thing I just noticed is, these don't even have like the same studio or anything combining them, because this is Toho, and I was like, oh wait, this is Toho, and the other one's I'll find out for in a second. Sochiku.
Okay, so there's no connection?
Well, other than samurai action in the 60s and swordplay and ass play.
And what kind of play, Jarrett?
So you like Samurai Rebellion, huh?
I do. It's a good show. It is a good show.
That's very good.
I like it, and I was like putting it on my list, and I was moving it above movies, and it's actually pretty high on my list, which is like a little bit surprising for me, but I was like, no, it's better than all these movies, so that's just where it is.
Well, hey, I mean,
not like super high. It's not numbered in top 10, but I was like, yeah, it's a good show.
Right now, in the last 11 movies we've watched, it's number 2.
Second only to Less Samurai.
Harikiri. Actually, I do have Less Samurai at number 3. I'd say.
Yeah. Well, we all know why.
It's a very pretty movie.
Very attractive. Very attractive. Samurai Rebellion is real good. I think one of the only things against this thing is I think it deserves a better title. I think they could have did something better than that, but and it's not a bad title.
According to Donald Ritchie, the actual Japanese title the actual translation would be Rebellion, Receive the Wife.
Receive?
Yeah. Because they receive a wife.
Wife?
Remember? They get the wife?
Well, come see, come saw. Is that what you're saying?
Because I think the title here. This is my flawless pronunciation here. If you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Joichi Heriichi Suama Shimatsu.
What? Was Toshiro Mifune on the line? For
I know. It's all that New Japan Pro Wrestling is paying off.
Wow, flawless.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Oh, RJ, you know there was a TV remake from 2013?
No, there wasn't.
There was.
Is there seriously?
Yeah. It was a TV movie, I think, though. Yeah. Yeah, on the TV Asahi.
Well, we really bunged that one up, huh?
That's fine.
We really bunged it up.
I don't need to know how. It's not even like funny how American remakes are kind of ass. Like that's enjoyable, I think. Whereas like it's like a Japanese remake of a Japanese movie. It's kind of like I'm less interested in that because at most you get like it's Harry Curie remake that's totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Oh well, that thing's not good.
Yeah.
Your buddy Takeshi Mike is,
Big Mike.
Big Mike. But yeah, this movie's real good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, I mean, just so you're clear here, RJ, you know that Masaki Kobayashi also directed Harry Curie.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And I mean, who could forget his work on Kwaidan?
Quite long.
We've got one of his big movies that'll be coming along will be The Human Condition, which I think is 3 films long.
I'm not really interested in that because I don't like people.
Ooh, damn.
Do you know what I mean?
Jeez.
If it was The Cat Condition, I'd be all over that.
Okay.
The Kitty Condition? Ooh, I like that.
How about a film called Inn of Evil?
Is it like a hotel that's evil based?
It's a tavern, and it's
based on on board
novel. It could be. I'm not sure if it's a ghost story or not. There's really not much of a synopsis at all for this movie. Interesting.
I mean, you could interpret that in
many ways. Many ways.
Many pretty many ways.
See, like those what are these called? Shabana films, which is I
don't know.
Samurai movies.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Shobanas?
Shabana. It's like,
I mean, I guess.
Yes. You better.
I guess. All right.
So.
I don't know.
Okay. Calm down over there.
I don't know.
Sorry, Shambara. It's a Japanese swordplay film. Okay, RJ.
Yeah.
Sword of the Beast.
Oh, sure.
You know about this beast?
I know of the sword.
Well, it's from 1965. It's 2 years earlier. Directed by one Hideo Gosha. He's another director of some note. We'll talk about that later. Synopsis for Sword of the Beast. Legendary swordplay filmmaker Hideo Gosha's Sword of the Beast chronicles the flight of the low-level swordsman Genosuke, who kills one of his ministers as part of a reform plot. His former comrades then turn on him, and this betrayal so shakes his sense of honor that he decides to live in the wild like an animal. I can't read that without thinking
what it says?
Like an animal. I'm like, was this Danny DeVito growling it?
Like
an animal down here in the sewer. in his little union suit.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, speaking of suits, I forgot we never mentioned in the news the Super Mario movie news.
No, that's fine. Who cares?
Okay, we can move on. But yeah, like an animal.
There, as an animal, he joins up with a motley group who are illegally mining the Shogun's gold, and with the aid of another swordsman, gets a chance not just at survival, but to recover his name and honor.
Is that what happens in this film?
I don't know, RJ. You take me through this one because I watched this.
You want me to describe?
Yeah, you walk me through this movie. I want to see if you can enliven it for me.
Okay. Day of the Beast.
This like the hair on display in this movie is very loafy. I must say, I hated this man's haircut so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, I was literally gonna lead with, we got a guy with a high and tight haircut.
Oh yeah.
It is coiffed, as 7 of 9 would put it. Coiffed.
No.
So we got this guy, and he is doing things, and okay, let me tell you, I watched this whole movie, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was watching this whole movie. I didn't even really look at my phone too much. This is my take 3 days later. We got a guy. He's in things that he doesn't want to be into, and he decides to go into something else. We have some other people who are also involved in things that they don't want to be involved in, so they go do something else. They all meet up as panhandlers in the gold rush.
Yeah.
In the 1700s California. They're all there panhandling gold, and they are ready for action. This one guy, he's kind of a vagabond. He's kind of walking around, but maybe is he tough? We don't know. So he's there doing his thing. He wants gold. We have Guy and his wife. They're also there doing things. They want gold. And there's a clan of samurais somewhere away on the mountain, and they want to have their hand in the gold, but they just want to claim the gold. They're kind of like landlords, you know. They just want a little
landlords.
They want a little taste, gabagool style.
Wow.
So they just want to taste.
Wet their beak.
They want to wet their beak a little bit. So they're like, all right, yeah. They're moving along. There's also other vagrants who are scoundrels who try to get people and steal their gold. So those guys are also in play at this time. We have everything's fine for a while until we have some of the scoundrel guys come up, and they're like, hey, they get the one guy who has a wife, and they said, hey, we're going to get you, or we're going to get your wife. So give us the gold, or we're going to do things to your wife. And he says, do it. I don't care. And they go, really? And the wife goes, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm just here for gold, boys. And they're like, okay, we'll do it then. So then the other guy with the high and tight haircut comes, and he goes, yeah. And he kills them. No. Well, he kills a couple of them. Then they run away. And high and tight haircut and then other guy's wife start to form a relationship where that guy's like, your husband was really going to leave you, hey? And she's like, yeah, what about you? And he's like, well, the clan. And he's like, oh, the clan. So they start working a little bit. They get more gold, and then eventually more of these guys come by, and then one of the clan's top samurai comes, and he's like, I'm coming to collect gold. And then high and tight haircut is like, nah, we don't work for you anymore. So they have like a brief battle for honor or whatever, and then they hear screams and the girl's in trouble. So their honor is like, oh, we should go see what's up. And girlfriend gets raped a lot. Is what is implied, or maybe not. I don't know what a lot is. I think more than
wasn't it
once is
wasn't
a
it
lot.
Unfortunate that Samurai Rebellion really chanced out on the rape, because I was the whole time after watching I was like, man, you know what this Japanese movie was missing, and it seems like half of them have
some kind of grisly rape scene.
Yeah, some chasing around off. Yeah.
And
it's
the
just
threat
like,
of the
good.
ever-present threat.
Yeah, it's good. I'm like, oh, thank you, Sword of the Beast, for bringing it back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's been a while in the collection, John, since we saw it last in the last 3 out of fucking 5 movies.
Yeah, it's ever-present. I don't know why John insisted on having rape in every one of his movies, every other one.
It happens every day, RJ. Don't you understand?
Well,
we have to confront it. It has to be seen.
I realize
that. It's a strange preoccupation with a lot of filmmakers, though. It's kind of like, what are we going to do with these characters? I don't know. Well, let me look at my idea book.
80% of filmmakers are incels, though, Jarrett. You have to realize that.
Well, as discussed last week, directors are bad dudes.
Yes, they are. They're very bad dudes. So yeah, anyway, she got raped, and then haircut and clan leader guy go to try to fix it. They kill the guys, and then she's just kind of there. And then the movie kind of just ends at that point, Jarrett. They're kind of like, well, that's that for this day. See you later, and they all kind of move on.
They leave without a fight.
Yeah. So am I wrong, or is that this entire movie? Did I miss anything?
Well, so there's this like, why does the Hindsight wind up here? And we find out via flashback that he was plotting against a higher ranked samurai who has been a disappointment, and he's like, yeah, we got to take care of this. But he got fucked. He thought it was all gonna be great afterwards, but it's like, no. He killed him. I can't believe it. So he loses his position, and now he's on the run. He can mess up dudes left and right. But we don't know all this though. He winds up basically one of the early scenes in the movie that I can recall is he shows up at this kind of an inn, and there's some gambling going on, and he kind of throws I think one of his weapons. Or maybe it's like one of those weird bars, because I can't keep track of all the different Japanese currencies they have. Where it's like, we're announcing 10 Ryu for this. And everyone goes, 10 Ryu. Oh. And then later on, it's like, I'll put on two Ryus or something like that. I can't remember how what the breakdown is.
Something.
It's interchangeable. And you're just like, I guess, sure, that sounds like a lot of money or not a lot of money. It's been a long time since I read all whatever is 28 volumes of Lone Wolf and Cub. I knew a lot more about Japan. That's where also I learned about the beautiful music and lyrics of Japanese music.
Like what? Can you say a couple?
There's like the one. It's like Mr. P, Mr. Rabbit, and it's like a children's song. And you're just like, how would this sound? Because in English, my word.
Mr. P, Mr. Rabbit,
Mr. Carrot.
And is this that hippopotamus song? The fat hippopotamuses that you were talking about earlier?
Well, we'd have to go back and read those, though. Not when the hippos crash the dance. No.
Oh, okay. Something different, eh?
Something altogether different.
Okay.
Yeah. Check it out. Lone Wolf and Cub. Good comics. And those movies were pretty sweet, too.
Are you talking about The Mandalorian?
No, but you know what's not as good as the Lone Wolf and Cub movies?
Sword of the Beast?
Correct.
Yeah, it's got a great name.
It sure does.
It ain't good.
It's almost confusing because you're like, we just watched Sword of Doom. What's this Sword of the Beast? Is this like the further adventures of that guy? I thought he was dead or was about to get killed, or maybe it's like now he got over it. He got better. Is this another? Yeah, but no, not at all. This is just it's a cool ass title. Gets people get their asses in those seats that producers are very, very interested in. Is making sure those seats are occupied at all times with buttocks, because those buttocks carry people who have money to spend, and they spend their time sitting around watching kind of what I felt was pretty by the numbers samurai stuff.
By the numbers, and for me as well, is not even just by the numbers. I was like, this is just kind of outright not interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because we're watching this back to back with like a really great movie, and watching this movie, you're like, I don't know, because like, part of me is trying to navigate what isn't working for me with this movie, but I kind of don't feel. I felt the same way about Yojimbo and Sanjuro too. Ultimately, I mean, those at least have Mifune to hang their hat on.
Yes.
In terms of like a central performance. This guy is Mikajiro Hira. I think he's a pretty well regarded actor. He's played Macbeth before. He's in a whole bunch of shit.
Who hasn't?
No, he's in The Face of Another, which is actually a good movie. I don't remember his character whatsoever. Maybe he's not so hot in terms of movies though, because he's in an episode, one of the installments of Adventures of Zatoichi. He's in 3 Outlaw Samurai, and then he kind of drops off. This guy, like, I don't know, when this like little thumbnail pops up on the Criterion channel, you're kind of like, who's this guy? He looks like a goof with his hair. He didn't want to do like the hair back look with the. He didn't want to show off his widow's peak.
Yeah, but I mean, hair loss is a part of life, man. It happens.
So what's up with this hair? This loaf.
I A quaff?
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with it, but apparently the Borg would think it's pretty attractive.
So apparently he was has been described as Japan's best Shakespearean actor.
I doubt it.
It's possible. Maybe you'll have to find out sometime, but you can't because he died 5 years ago.
So I can't see this guy right now?
Yeah, you can't. Well, you could, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Why? It's a free country, Jarrett.
Wow, I don't know about that. I'm not sure what desecration of a corpse is, what their rules are like in Japan. I imagine it's not.
Whoa. No one's talking about desecration. I was just going for a look.
Oh, go for a beak?
Yeah, I was just gonna see what was happening. I wasn't gonna do anything weird. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
You know?
He knows. He knows. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's definitely a film that we watched this week.
It didn't really leave too much of an impression on me either, RJ.
Yeah. Yeah, I was mighty bored watching this thing. I don't care about this gold rush and these people. First movie was real good.
Yes.
This one was not.
And there's something about the focus of that movie, too, of Samurai Rebellion. This movie just is like, oh, there's a whole bunch of guys. There's a bunch of people. They kind of have goals, and you're like, yeah, well, I don't know, I guess, but do I care about any of them? No.
Nah.
Everyone either kind of sucks or miserable. They all seem like just a bunch of cliches.
Yeah. They are, and then I don't know, the biggest thing for me was almost kind of like what did I say? It led me back to like, why are these movies even included together? Just because they have samurais? That seems a little superficial, right?
I guess back then when they had the rights to these movies, they're like, hey, how do we put these together? And they're like, I don't know, put them all together, make a big samurai love fest.
Do you like 4 samurai movies? Kind of like 4 movies that take place in North America. It's all North America. Just throw them together. You know, RoboCop, 5 Easy Pieces, Ken Burns Baseball, and I don't know. What's another movie, Jarrett? Or that's it. Those movies could go together, right?
Let's see here. So in the essay, Sword of the Beast, Rebel Samurai Cinema, this is a pretty good write-up describing why these Chambara movies were getting made in such volume and why there's so many of them, their importance. There is a bit of a synopsis. Oh, look, mentioning Harry Curie, which, of course, is number 1, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it. There we go. Gosha's equally impressive Sword of the Beast followed on 3 outlaw samurai's heels, bringing back Hira as a rebel samurai on the run after being tricked into assassinating a clan minister in the name of reform, pursued by the deceased man's daughter and her fiancé. Okay, I see. As well as other clan samurai. He takes refuge in a forbidden valley reserved for shogunate gold prospectors. There he encounters another low-ranking samurai and his wife, secretly mining gold for their own bankrupt clan. Before the swift film, RJ, is over, Gosha not only puts on a display some of the most amazing swordplay yet to grace Japanese movie screens, he also tears to shreds every single hypocritical tenet of the samurai code.
When was this most amazing swordplay ever? I don't remember that.
It happens, but I don't remember anything about it, so I don't know. I guess we just don't know about medieval Japan, RJ, or 1700s feudal Japan. Yeah,
Jerry, you got to get that right, buddy. People are going to say we're talking about Edos, and
they already hate us.
Well, fuck them. They don't know.
Yeah.
This movie's not good, and they're not good.
Though Gosha exhibited no explicit political bent and was vocally opposed to including messages, in quotes, in his films, all of his productions, from these exhilarating early Chambara to later samurai gems, are savagely critical of established authority and bourgeois hypocrisy. Fuck off.
Bourgeois?
Much like the work of Americans Anthony Mann and Sam Peckinpah, Gosha's films reflect a rugged individualism bound up with personal honor and integrity and a ferocious self-reliance in the face of overwhelming adversity. Yeah.
How overwhelmed are you when it comes to adversity?
Very. I avoid it at all costs.
You do?
No. Run away. Run away.
Run Away Home?
Mm-hmm.
Run Forest? Is that the same movie?
Just go on. Get.
I say that to my cat once sometimes. I'm going, get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get. She doesn't listen.
No?
Nah, she stays.
So I'm not a good kitty.
No, I mean, she doesn't listen.
That's cats.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Boring.
That's what people want.
Yeah. I have a niece who, that's what she just says sometimes. She goes, boring. And because she's like, you guys are boring me. And we go, okay.
What insights? How old is this child?
She's like 7.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so boring.
Do you do it back to her?
Yeah. I give her a little flick.
Oh yeah. A little bit
you know what I mean?
A little bit of physical abuse. Cool.
A little bump.
Cool.
Bonk. You ain't never flicked anyone?
Bonk. Wow.
You ever bonked anyone?
People should see what's going on the camera. I'm seeing Jesus.
I'll give you a bonk right now.
Wow.
I'll bonk anyone, anytime.
So, who hates these movies?
I don't know.
Christian Bostaff.
Bale? Oh. Okay.
On Samurai Rebellion. 1.5 stars.
Okay.
Boy, was this movie extremely long for no reason. I mean, there's just so much unnecessary talking. The talking is just build up that feels to me that leads to some cool fighting in the end, but it's defiantly not worth it.
Do you think his last name is actually Bostaff, or do you think he did it ironically?
What?
Do you think his last name is actually Bostaff?
Sure. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
Well, because Bostaff is like a weapon, right? It'd be like someone's last name being like machine gun.
Well, it's not spelled like bow staff. It's not two
Sound.
F's. Anyways.
Yeah, but I don't know how to spell.
Yeah. Tell me about their taste in movies, though. Please.
Well, I mean, they gave 5 stars to Beyond the Black Rainbow.
That's,
you know what I mean?
That's a bad miss.
And I mean, 5 stars to Stalker, which I mean, I know Stalker's supposed to be okay, but I feel like...
Oh, hey, are you watching Color Out of Space this time around?
I can.
You should. I'm very curious what you think of it.
Yeah. This dude gave 1/2 star to Killer Sofa, which I know is one of your favorite films.
What a disappointment.
They also gave 1/2 star to Portrait of a Lady on Fire. So I don't really know what to think of this person. They do a podcast or review thing of some sort. There's a link in their bio, but
oh no,
I probably wouldn't follow it. Yeah.
How about Grant from Savages?
I mean, potentially we could find Grant.
2 stars. The plot of this film is just designed to put off the inevitable. It's painfully obvious what is going to happen, and all you can do is admire Kobayashi's work and try your best to not yell at the TV. The middle felt like an experiment to see how many ways characters can say the exact same thing. Also, I used to think the character motives in Harikiri were spelt out a little too on the nose, but after having this movie shove it all down my throat, I appreciate Harikiri more. I always just assume that when someone talks about things being shoved down their throat, they're yelling it.
I know, and at the same time, it's like, stop watching then, if you don't like that. What is it? If this person, they had a link to their YouTube, which doesn't look good, but I mean, they only have like 800 less subscribers than us, so what does that tell you?
I think it's because nobody wants to listen to 50-minute long reviews on movies.
I mean, that's
generally
probably fair. It's probably fair, but fuck them. I don't know. A lot of Criterions and their favorite films.
Blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. 5 stars to Straw Dogs. You know, this person's an incel. Fuck. There's nothing even. See, here's the thing. There's nothing even really interesting here. It's just I'm looking at their high stars, their low stars, and nothing interesting. They did give one of their favorite films is The Plumber, which is a cool movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like The Plumber, but I don't know what any of this other shit is. 19 from 2000. Takashita Performance 2, Godzilla versus Mito Coleman. I don't know. Magic Portal from 1998. I have no idea what any of this is.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Well, what about for Sword of the Beast?
What about
look, it's Grant from Savages, who also gave this movie 2 stars.
Okay.
The swordplay is great. It's well shot, but it certainly isn't for the feminists. What? I normally don't care about that sort of thing. Sexism and the like is an unfortunate reality you need to be prepared for with older films. But women got it so rough in this one that it's too much to shrug off as dated. Worse, that the movie didn't seem too interested to treat that as a particularly bad thing, which honestly got distracting when everything female character was getting hit from every angle without any acknowledgement legitimately pulled me from the climax. It's really a shame, because this film would have been solid otherwise.
I'm so confused at this person. They're like, I'm usually don't care about this thing. You know, women get in it rough, and then you go, what?
No, usually, but it's too rough. Well, not to their liking.
Yeah, that's
It certainly isn't for the feminists. You mean people who think people should be treated equally?
I'm very confused.
What? Like, oh, those people?
Very confused.
Oh, cool. I'm not one of those, though.
You know, not one of those ones.
Women's lib?
One of the real ones. Right, Jer?
Yeah, real ones. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Austin Lugar.
Sure.
2
like
stars.
Lex Lugar?
Lugar. AR, actually.
Oh.
2 stars. An asshole samurai kills a guy he shouldn't have and then is surprised when everyone treats him like an asshole. I'm fine with an unlikable protagonist, but I'm not okay with such a boring one-note one.
I mean, they 5-starred Hamilton, the musical.
Okay.
Which I don't know why that stands out to me. I've never seen Hamilton.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone that we ever click on have ever watched Hamilton. It's never.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they have, but now maybe we'll keep an eye out on that.
I don't know. I see that and I go, I've never seen this, but how could anyone be 5-starring this thing? It just doesn't seem like that kind of experience, you know? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But their half-star films include things like Vanilla Sky, Batman v Superman, which are both good shows, and I don't know, Over the Top. That's a great movie, right, Jarrett? You like Over the Top, don't you?
You want to hear from people who love Sword of the Beast?
I guess.
Ugh, man.
It's gonna be bad.
These are some of these are very letterboxed. Plague Doctor, 5 stars. Simply sharp and furnace heated, urgent intensity. Hills of ruthlessness. The rage and greed that surfaced from a gold search in the mountains. The butchery, in bold, of the ugly beasts, italicized. Unconscious, sprinkled like gold dust.
Too much. Too much.
No.
I don't know. This person's from the Philippines, and all the movies that they like. Here. I don't know any of these people. My favorite directors: Takeshi Kitano, Sabu, Larissa Shipiko, Momoko Ando, Kiyoshi Kurosawa, Ringo Lam. I don't know any of these people. I mean, you probably do,
Ringo,
but
yeah,
I don't.
I do. That's fine.
I don't.
Hills of ruthlessness.
They gave the hot chick with Rob Schneider a half a star, which I think is unfair. That movie's got some charm to it. It's not a half a star film.
Okay. All right, I got some more good through here, RJ.
Okay.
I want to read some of these. How about Jarrett J? Their name's spelled wrong.
Is that you?
No, spelled wrong. 5 stars. A gripping tale of the duty of a samurai. Does he follow or live in the wilderness?
All I know is that this person 5-starred Signs, and I'm pretty on board with that.
Okay.
But they also 5-starred Baby Driver, and I'm not on board with that. And they only have 4 half-star films, Because I Said So with Diane Keaton, Mr. Magoo, the Leslie Nielsen film, one of the Dragonheart sequels, and Rat Race from 2001. And again, Rat Race is a pretty good show.
It's not that bad.
No, Rat Race is a fine show.
It's not. Yeah, it's not good, but it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
How about one more? Troy Guevara's 5 stars. My God, samurai films are so fucking awesome. This film is filled with so much badassery. The action is wonderfully shot and so well choreographed. The characters are compelling, especially our protagonist, so it makes it all the more satisfying whenever he has a showdown. Also, near he end of the film, he utter what I think is now one of my favorite lines of dialogue in film history.
What?
This movie has dialogue. This movie has memorable dialogue.
You want to hear some badassery films that this person's also given the favorite film treatment?
Please.
Empire Strikes Back, Avengers: Infinity War, and then Harry Carey and Tokyo Story. So they like Japanese movies, and then they like Marvel and Star Wars movies, which, okay, I guess, you know. All right, whatever. Lots of 5-star films, nothing crazy, nothing interesting.
Yeah, people saying this is truly underlooked banger. Holy shit, I wish I watched this sooner and didn't put it off for so long.
Untrue.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. I love samurai films.
Is that the whole review?
This one is really special with so many characters in such little time, all developing into a unique web of chaos.
Not really.
All of these characters are painted a shade darker than many of the contemporary samurai film characters of all time. They're more dirty, more greedy, more roguish, and more flawed. It makes for a great watch as you can't really tell who will even come out on the other end. The sword fights are phenomenal, using the setting so spectacularly. Whether it's a cramped inn or a raging river, you feel the whole environment and gravity of these dirty little fights. It's a take on samurai films that's very distinct in how it depicts character by creating very strong twists on the concept of honor by making the bees have it and the warriors none. The beasts.
Very.
The beasts.
Very.
Very beast.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, that didn't help me like this movie anymore. Whatever.
Nah.
People like it. Good. I'm glad. Maybe they just didn't make the same mistake that we did of doing this podcast where you have to watch these movies all in a row. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's better when you're not like watching a really great movie. Or it's not to our tastes.
I doubt it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Any final thoughts on
Samurai Rebellion?
Part 1
very good.
of Swordplay.
Yeah. Very good. Sword of the Beast, not very good. So take it as you take it as you will.
2 down, 2 to go in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. Hooray, a break. And after in the short term, for a little break, after the break,
yeah,
we're gonna be working on our high and tight bad haircuts, dude.
I keep it high and tight always.
You're looking forward to it? All up front?
Always.
Yeah, we're gonna have some spectacular, phenomenal sword play in the river bottom.
Ugh. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.